the guru of Squad Double Zero, the assassin like no other. Yes, I'm the best at what I do. One of the most notorious in YouTube anime manga community. Don't doubt my infamy, please. This video, you know, it is one of my own, but it was sparked by cool things. Number one, you know, my own thoughts, you know, besides those. I was thinking, this is a while back, and I honestly forgot about that, but we in here now. I remember, and I brought up Greenland. I forgot he talked about this, but Greenland talked about this sometime, like, was it early last year, 2014? Sometime 2014 or so. And he was talking about, you know, Ace, Sabo, Luffy, all together. And how that whole dynamic. And then I was legitimately thinking about it. I think it was Sabo and Luffy. I forget how I was thinking about Ace. And I was thinking about legitimately what would have happened if they were all together. They all set out to sea together, right? And I was reminded to do this video because Super Dude, shout out to Anime Super Dude, he literally dropped a video today, the time I'm speaking of, what is it, May 4th or so, whatever. May 4th, 2015, he dropped a video dealing with what would happen if, his thoughts on what would happen if Fire Fist Portuguese the Ace was not dead. If he had not died at Marineford, during the Marineford War. Now, this whole subject is very interesting. It wouldn't completely change the dynamic of the story of One Piece, but it would make it very, very peculiar. Here's why. First and foremost, they would have all set out at the same time. They would have waited for Luffy to set out. Now, why do I say that? People could say, well, you know, they set out beforehand. You know, they each said they were going to be a pirate, a great pirate. These three brothers would have gone super tight. You're telling me, specifically with the way Ace and Sabo's minds are about protecting Luffy, are you trying to tell me that they would have let Luffy go out haphazardly? That's point number one. No, they would have been there to protect Luffy. What is Luffy's dream? To become king of the pirates? Ace ain't got that dream. Ace may have sort of had that dream because of what Whitebeard was investing in him. We see that how protective Ace was of, and how honorable he viewed Whitebeard. You see what I'm saying? Sabo, we already know. We see how Sabo is post time skip. For those of you who are caught up in Dressrosa, I gotta protect Luffy. I gotta protect Luffy. Especially after Ace dead. I gotta protect Luffy. I gotta protect Luffy. It's like he's obsessed. Like he's a maniac when it comes to protecting his little brother. His little brother. You see what I'm saying? You're trying to tell me that Ace and Sabo would not have wanted Luffy to do everything in their possibility to help Luffy achieve his goal. Come on now. Specifically, and people will say, well, Ace has Conqueror's Haki. Goldie Roger. Pirate King Goldie Roger, former vice captain of the Roger Pirates, Dark King Silver's Rayleigh, two Conqueror's Haki users. We find out later that Red Hair Shanks has Conqueror's Haki, and who knows how many else in the Roger Pirates actually had Conqueror's Haki. For all we know, Buggy the Star Clown could have Conqueror's Haki. For all we know, Scopper Godbone could have had Conqueror's Haki. We don't know. Okay? We just don't know. But we have three confirmed Conqueror's Haki users. You can say, well, Goldie Roger. Come on, man. The man had Conqueror's Haki. Stop playing. Don't try to, no. Use logic and reason. The man had Conqueror's Haki. What's been said by Don Chinjiao and other sources. Clearly this man had Conqueror's Haki. With all that being said, so Ace had Conqueror's Haki. And he was Goldie Roger's son. And makes even more sense. 2 D's now. 2 D's. Don't make the double D jokes. If Northside's watching this, you know what time it is. But anyways, 2 D's makes perfect sense. These three set out together. Now, I don't see any difference than the original, the original 4 that joined. Pretty much. Zoro's definitely joining. I don't see Zoro not joining. It would make it very interesting, the dynamic. I think would he be vice cap? Well, actually, they don't. Luffy doesn't have. I'll get to Luffy's, the whole crew dynamic. But anyways, Luffy, you know, eventually Nami joined. I don't see that any different, except how the fight may have went down is whatever, being a cakewalk. You know, Sanji, Usopp. Them all joining makes perfect sense. Specifically, the whole Yasopp connection with Usopp. Those joining makes perfect sense. Chopper, the Grand Line, those joining the Grand Line is a toss-up. If we could have had those. But those 7, right? Yeah, my math is right. Those 7 joining. You have a legitimately formidable crew. Possibility of Ace getting the Nomi is a high possibility. You add that to the equation. You see what I'm saying? You have a legit, formidable crew. It doesn't change. Actually, you have a superior crew from a fighting standpoint than you did when the Straw Hats hit Sabo. You do. Ace and Sabo are better fighters than Frankie, and I'm not saying post time skip or nothing, no crazy, just skill wise, than Frankie, Brook, Nico Robin, and Chopper. You want to try to debate me on this when you can, but this is the truth. They are better fighters. I'm not including Sabo getting trained by in the Revolutionary. I'm not including that. I'm just saying, and naturally, these are better fighters. Luffy and Sabo are arguably the 2 most balanced fighters in the series. Luffy, I've said time and time again, is a fighting genius. Sabo has high fighting IQ. Ace, masterful usage of his Mare no Mi Devil Fruit. You see what I'm saying? And he could throw hands before he had it. He was offered the Shichibukai position as a youngster starting out. See what I'm saying? These 3 starting out would have been devastating. They wouldn't have been an annihilation. There wouldn't be no Sabo annihilation. Would it have been in his lobby? Who knows? Who knows? We can't say on that specific concern. But what we've seen, it would have been more relative ease than what we've seen. You see what I'm saying? Specifically, if Ace would have had the Mare Nomi. You already have a Logia user. You have a Logia user, it'd be crazy. They enter the new world. Now, they would have entered the new world and eventually would have gained Haki. Or Dark King Silver's Rayleigh would have do like he did and been trained and got a hold of it and trained specifically Luffy and Ace. Would Kuma have got involved and sent them away? Who knows? To train. Who knows? You know? But those 3 together and still alive and entering to the new world, fighting and progressing gradually. That's a Pirate King's crew, easily. They would be superior than what we have now. Specifically with dudes like Zoro. You can't take away Zoro and Sanji. Usopp's on the come up, and Nami's a wild card. And whoever else they would have attained. If you got guys like Jinbei come and join your crew, and whoever else may possibly. You see what I'm saying? These 3 alive together would have been too OP and too hacks for Oda to do. That's why you had to break them up. And I'll get more on so in another video about Ace's death, why he had to kill off Ace. Okay? And deal with that specific, because it's a specific individual case of why, from a story writing perspective, he had to kill off Ace, and how he wrote the story. But these are my thoughts. What are yours? Unexpected one to like, comment, subscribe. Luffy, Ace, Sabo, man. These 3 here, man. It's just too much. It's overkill. It's overkill. Oda had to make it more challenging for the Straw Hats. So, you don't allow Luffy to have his 2 older brothers. Simple. Alright, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace. And if you're gonna come at me, please come with some sense. And present your points, legitimate points, as to what you think would have become of these 3 together.